wind crawled over the Wyoming plains like a living thing, whispering through dry sage and long stretches of empty land. The day had been unforgiving, dust storms rolling through, rattling windows, shaking fences, and leaving the wide Miller Ranch buried under a layer of powdery rust-colored earth. But now evening had softened the land. The sky glowed orange. The sun was drowning behind the tall ridge, and the last rays ran across the wooden cabins, the open corral, and the endless stretch of golden grass. Rancher Cole Matthews wiped his dirt-covered hands against his jeans as he pushed the final wagon into place beside the barn. His shoulders ached from the day's work, the kind of ache a man welcomed because it kept the ghosts away. Cole had spent the last 3 years burying his memories under ranch chores, cattle, fences, broken gates, quiet sunsets. Silence suited him. Silence didn't judge him. Silence didn't remind him of what he lost. But fate has a cruel way of interrupting the lives of men who think they've outrun it. Just as Cole reached for the barn door, he heard it, a horse galloping fast. Too fast. Far too desperate. Cole turned sharply toward the ridge. A rider appeared, a young woman in a torn brown western dress, bouncing wildly in the saddle as the horse struggled down the incline. Her long hair blew behind her like a brown banner of warning. Even from the distance, Cole saw how close she was to falling. Her hand shook violently. Something was very wrong. Cole's chest tightened. He dropped everything and sprinted toward her. "Whoa, easy," he shouted as the horse reached the bottom of the slope. But the rider didn't even have the strength to stop. She swayed once, twice, then slipped sideways off the saddle. She fell hard. Cole caught her just before she hit the ground, but the impact made her gasp in pain. She clutched her swollen belly with both hands trembling, skin pale, breathing broken. A pregnant woman. Alone. Terrified. Barely conscious. Cole held her gently. "Ma'am, stay with me. You're hurt. What happened?" Her eyelids fluttered, her breath short. She tried to speak. Only one word escaped. "Help." And then she collapsed fully into his arms. Cole scooped her up like she weighed nothing and carried her into his cabin. He laid her on the couch near the fireplace, lit the oil lamp, and fetched water. When the soft light finally revealed her face, he froze. She wasn't just exhausted. She looked hunted. Her cheeks were scraped, her wrists bruised, her dress torn from riding too hard for too long. Mud streaked her legs like she had fallen before many times. And around her neck, tied tightly but trembling from her movements, a black ribbon, a widow's ribbon. Cole stepped back, breath hitched. He hadn't seen one of those in a long time, not since the war, not since the days when women stood over freshly dug graves. Whoever she was, she had lost someone important. The woman stirred. Her voice cracked. "Where am I?" "Miller Ranch," Cole replied. "You collapsed out there. I brought you in." "Oh," she exhaled softly and touched her belly again. "The baby? You and the baby are safe," he reassured. "Just dehydrated. You need rest." Tears slipped down her face, quiet, helpless. Then she whispered something that chilled him. "They're coming. He died for something, and now they're coming for me." Cole leaned forward slowly. "Ma'am, who's coming?" She swallowed hard, pain tightening her features. "My name is Elena Ward. My husband, he was killed for something he discovered. A secret. He hid it inside something I carry. They think it's worth killing for." Her eyes shut again, exhausted. Cole sat motionless for a moment. A pregnant widow hunted on open land? A husband murdered for a secret? This wasn't a simple rescue. This was trouble, serious trouble. Before he could question her further, a sharp sound echoed across the valley. Gunshots. Cole stood instantly. Elena's eyes snapped open. Panic flooded her features. No, they found me." Cole grabbed his rifle, jaw clenched. "Stay here. I'll handle this." The night had barely begun, but it was about to bleed, and the secret inside this widow was strong enough to set fire to the whole town. The moon climbed higher, lighting the ranch in silver. The sound of hooves thundered across the field. Cole took position outside the cabin, rifle raised, body tense. 3 riders emerged from the darkness, shadows melting into men. Wide-brim hats, leather dusters, guns at their sides. The worst kind of visitors, the kind who don't knock. The leader called out, "We know you've got the woman. Hand her over, Matthews." Cole didn't twitch. "You'll leave this ranch now." The second rider laughed coldly. "Or what? You'll shoot 3 armed men alone." Cole didn't blink. Done worse. Elena watched from the window, her hands trembling over her belly. She knew these men. She'd seen them murder her husband in cold blood. She knew the cruelty in their eyes. The leader stepped forward. "We want the journal. And the widow. Give them, and maybe we let you live." "Journal?" Cole frowned. Inside the cabin, Elena pulled a small leather-bound notebook from her dress pocket. Her late husband's handwriting filled every page. Maps, codes, coordinates, names. A secret lay inside those pages. A secret that pointed to gold deposits on a disputed land claim. Land no one knew was worth millions. Except her husband. And now her. Cole never wanted to be part of anyone else's war. But the moment he saw her terrified eyes, he knew he'd already chosen. He stepped out from the porch, rifle leveled. "You boys should rethink your evening." Gunfire exploded. The ranch turned into a battlefield. Cole ducked behind a water trough, firing back with steady precision. Bullets ripped through dust, sparks flying. Horses reared. The attacker split, trying to flank him. Inside the cabin, Elena screamed when a stray bullet shattered the window. She threw herself to the floor, protecting her belly. Fear clawed at her chest. Cole saw her panic and moved with renewed fury. He shot the first rider's gun clean out of his hand. The man howled in pain. The second tried rushing him. Cole slammed the rifle but into his jaw, dropping him flat. But the third, the leader, was smart. He circled behind the cabin. Cole heard the crunch of boots behind him. He spun just in time. A gun pointed at his chest. The man smirked. "Should have stayed out of it, rancher." Elena screamed, "Cole!" That split second was all he needed. Cole lunged sideways. The gun fired. The bullet grazed his arm. But Cole's countershot hit the man square in the shoulder. The leader collapsed. Silence washed over the ranch. Cole breathed heavily, arm bleeding but alive. Elena rushed outside, tears hovering. "You're hurt," she cried. "I'm fine," he muttered. "No, you risked your life for me," she whispered. Cole looked down at her, at the fear, the pain, the strength holding her together. He swallowed something tight in his chest. Someone needed to. Elena held out the journal. "This is what they want. What my husband died protecting." Cole flipped through it and froze. The documents revealed enough to shake the entire region. This wasn't just a map. It was a blueprint to hidden gold. Enough gold to start wars. Enough gold to destroy families. Enough gold to cost her husband his life. Cole shut the journal slowly. "Elena, the whole town needs to know the truth. But first, we keep you safe. And that child." Elena's lips trembled. "I don't know why fate brought me here, but I'm glad it did." Cole held her gaze just a second longer than a stranger should. And in that second, the world outside seemed to hold its breath. The night was quiet now. The danger wasn't over. But the story of the pregnant widow was only just beginning. A story that would shake the entire West.